Let's be honest. If you got into a street fight right now, how confident are you that you'd walk away as the one standing tall? Be real. Because out there, nobody cares if you're a nice guy, or if you watch fight videos on TikTok, or if you bench 100 kilos in the gym. That means nothing when someone charges at you with zero hesitation, pure violence, and the kind of rage that doesn't stop until your face is in the concrete. Now imagine this. You're in an alley. It's dark. There are no rules. The guy in front of you has a knife in his back pocket, friends behind him, and bad intentions in his eyes. And you have nothing, except one thing. You've trained like Gun Park. Suddenly they should be scared. Now, who is Gun Park? If you're here, you probably already know. But let's make something clear. Gun Park is not just a fighter. He's a walking weapon. Every movement is efficient. Every punch is calculated. He doesn't fight with emotion, he fights like a surgeon with a scalpel. Except the scalpel is his body, and the surgery is destruction. He doesn't flinch. He doesn't hesitate. He controls the battlefield with cold-blooded dominance. He is the monster everyone prays they never meet. Now here's the twist. You don't need to be born strong. You don't need six-pack abs or 6 years in a dojo. What you need is to rewire how you think about combat, about power, about dominance, and about fear. You see, Gun Park doesn't win fights by luck or by muscle. He wins by understanding the psychology of destruction. Let me brainwash you for a second. In real fights, the calmest man wins. The man who's already played the fight out in his mind 10 times before the first punch is even thrown. Gun doesn't waste energy. He doesn't roar like anime heroes. He doesn't posture. He just moves, breaks, and finishes. And you can learn that. But here's the part you've been lied to about your entire life. You were trained to be weak. From school to society, everything teaches you to flinch, apologize, hesitate, and look away. They teach you to be soft, because soft people are easy to control. Gun Park is the glitch in that system. He doesn't ask for permission. He doesn't need validation. He's the final result of what happens when you throw society's rules into a furnace and become a weapon. And don't worry, we'll keep it entertaining. There's something satisfying about watching Gun knock a grown man out using nothing but footwork and a perfectly timed counter. But this isn't just entertainment anymore. This video isn't for fans, it's for future monsters. So, if you're ready to stop pretending and start owning your space in any street, alley, or battlefield, if you're done being prey and ready to become the predator, then you're about to learn the deadliest moves from Gun Park's arsenal broken down so clearly, even your lazy cousin who thinks shadowboxing is a dance move could get it. Warning though, once you learn these, people will look at you differently. Not because you're cool, but because they'll feel something ancient, something dangerous. Something that says, don't mess with this guy. Let's turn you into a monster. Starting now. 1. The dead stare. Psychological domination before first contact. Before the first punch is thrown, Gun Park does something that most people completely overlook. He stares. And I mean stares. But not like a crazy person. Not wide-eyed or aggressive. Calm, cold, unshaken. This is what I call the dead stare. Gun stares at his opponent like he's already planned the funeral. Like he's studying a bug he's about to squash. Now why is this important? Because in real street fights, the first few seconds are psychological warfare. If you flinch, blink, or show nerves, you already told your enemy they can break you. But if you can just hold that empty, almost bored eye contact like Gun does, you plant a seed of fear in them. They start second-guessing. Their heart rate spikes. They become reactive instead of aggressive. You win before the fight even starts. And let's be honest, most street guys aren't trained. They act tough, but panic when someone doesn't give in to their bluff. So next time, don't raise your fists first. Raise your aura. Gun Park style. 2. Weight drop jab. The silent bone breaker. You've seen Gun throw a jab, right? It looks boring. Lazy even. But the moment it lands, the other guy's face folds like a cheap lawn chair in a windstorm. Why? Because it's not a regular jab. It's what I call the weight drop jab. Here's the trick. Gun doesn't just punch with his arm. He subtly drops his body weight into the jab using gravity and timing. There's no wasted muscle tension. No big windup. Just clean, crisp, heavy impact, like dropping a hammer from 5 feet up. This move is deadly in street fights because it's fast, almost invisible. It stops aggression instantly. It doesn't require a warm-up or gloves, and it leaves the attacker wide open for the next shot. You want to end a fight fast? Learn to jab like Gun Park. Simple physics. Weight plus speed equals damage. 3. Ghost Step, the move that makes you untouchable. This move is why Gun looks like he's teleporting during fights. Let me break it down. Gun doesn't bounce like a boxer or sway like a Muay Thai fighter. He uses Ghost Step, a sudden, short, lateral or diagonal shift in foot position that throws the enemy's aim off by inches. Just inches. But in combat, an inch is the difference between a broken jaw and a clean counter. Imagine this. Guy throws a haymaker. You go step to the side smooth, no panic. And then boom, your elbow crashes into their ribs like a truck door slamming shut. Ghost Step isn't flashy, it's fluid deception. The beauty is, your opponent thinks you're right in front of them, until suddenly, you're not. They punch the air, they feel fear, and you feel control. Want to feel like Gun Park? Stop running, start disappearing. 4. One hand guard plus open kill zone. The trap that baits fools. Gun does something genius. He often fights with only one hand up. Now that sounds reckless, but it's a trap. Here's how it works. When you drop one hand low, most fighters think, oh, he left himself open. They get cocky, they charge in. That's when Gun turns them into highlight clips. By exposing that side, Gun baits the attacker's punch and uses the opening as a setup for a devastating counter, usually a short hook, elbow, or a knee that knocks the soul out of them. It's like showing someone a cookie, letting them grab it, and then slamming the jar shut on their fingers. This open kill zone tactic is psychological. You give them false hope, then take it away violently. Train this by practicing feints with one hand, but make sure your timing is razor sharp. Because if you hesitate for even half a second, you're the one getting punished. 5. Elbow shear, the street killer move no one recovers from. Now we're in monster territory. Gun's elbows aren't just strikes, they're bladed weapons. He doesn't swing them like Muay Thai elbows either. He angles them downward, almost like a slicing motion across the face, collarbone, or temple. I call it the elbow shear. And in a real fight, this is terrifying because it causes instant bleeding. It stuns the brain without winding up. It creates panic even in trained fighters. And it can be thrown in the clinch or mid-scramble. Gun uses it mid-combo, off a miss, or even as a response to a grab. You ever elbow someone who tries to hold you? They let go real quick. Elbows are bones hitting bones. It's not flashy. It's not even fair. It's surgical violence. Master this, and people will remember the fight not for how long it lasted, but for how fast you ended it. 6. Clinical calm, the final weapon most fighters can't learn. This is Gun's real superpower. Not the jab, not the steps, not the elbow. It's his mind. He doesn't get mad. He doesn't scream. He doesn't throw wild punches because someone insulted his ego. He stays cold. This calmness is what allows him to move like a machine, to calculate in real time, to end fights without losing himself. That's what separates a monster from a thug. Because when fear rises, anger explodes, and the crowd roars. Most people fight on emotion. Gun fights with intention. You want to become that? Start practicing breathing under pressure. Train slow. Think fast. Learn to be bored in chaos. Because when others panic and you stay calm, you've already won. So now you know. Gun Park isn't just a character. He's a blueprint. A blueprint for what happens when precision meets pain, when calmness meets chaos, when a man decides that being dangerous is better than being safe. And the question island, what will you do with this knowledge? Will you just scroll to the next video and forget everything you learned? Or will you train quietly, patiently, dangerously until you become the kind of person nobody dares to underestimate? Because deep down, every man watching this knows you don't rise by being average. You rise when the room goes silent, and everyone feels your presence without you saying a single word. So now it's your turn. I want you to drop this in the comments. I'm building my inner monster. Say it. Type it. Own it. Let the world know you're not here to be weak, soft, or forgotten. And tell me this, what move from Gun Park do you think is the most dangerous? Or better yet, what kind of dark fighting strategy should I break down next? Killer footwork? Killer mindset? Killer street combos? Your comment might just decide the next video. Remember, monsters aren't born, they're built. and yours is waiting. Let it out.